Welcome back YouTube, VST here, Wednesday Tech. I just came across a very interesting article from Android Authority. They're using Basemark's in vitro test, which is actually the first official smartphone ray tracing benchmark test. And what was so fun to read there is the fact that apparently the Exynos 2200 was able to beat a device using the latest Qualcomm Snapdragon 8 Gen 2. And in fact, I do own those two phones. I have my S22 Ultra, it has the Exynos 2200, and of course I have the Xiaomi 13, which has the Snapdragon 8 Gen 2. And for me, the news that there is something like even a part of a benchmark where this phone can destroy that phone, or even, okay, not destroy, but at least be better, was just, yeah, fantastic. And of course I needed to test it by myself. But guys, let me give you the long story short. When this phone has been released last year, it came with the Eclipse 920 GPU. So this promised to use the AMD RDNA 2 architecture, and of course it meant really a revolution in the mobile gaming by utilizing ray tracing. Sadly, of course, I don't have a feeling that this was really utilized. There were not a lot of games supporting this, and it kind of really fell short. And right now, guys, yeah, this phone, the one that we have here, has the latest Adreno 740 GPU, right? And it seems that in ray tracing alone, this phone here, particularly with the Eclipse 920 GPU, is able to do a better job at ray tracing rendering. So what the Android Authority guys did, they did 20 tests, one in a row, and it seems that this was performing better, guys. So you know what, I want to see this with my own eyes, guys. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go inside my settings on the S22 Ultra, and just to even out chances, guys, I will also put it to the FHD plus resolution. All right, I just want to make sure that I have even out all things. So I'm gonna also try to close all the running apps I have on both phones, and then open for the first time the GPU in vitro. So this is a test by Basemark, and it's the first smartphone ray tracing test. So it's really very thrilling, and yeah, click the details here. So official benchmark uses a fixed rendering resolution and 1080p is same here. When you click on the details, you can just see this is the official GPU score in vitro benchmark. Uses fixed rendering, a row of images is rendered at the bottom of a screen to prevent the device from skipping frames, and etc, etc. Now, what is concerned to be only pure raster rendering, still the 8 Gen 2 is better than this, but I want to see the results with my own eyes about the ray tracing. So guys, I'm just going to press run, and let's just see what's going to happen. And by the way, I'm also going to take out some of the temp readings. So yeah, if you also are interested to see what the results is, then yeah, let's do this together. And we can already start by just taking some temp readings. So the Exynos starts with 27 and the Xiaomi starts with 30, so it's a bit more. Yeah, wow, you see how long it takes for the Xiaomi 13 to just load it. I'm not sure why, and it's kind of the first time I'm seeing this test, but I'm really interested to see with my own eyes if even for one run my Samsung S22 Ultra is able to get a higher score. Oh my god, my S22 Ultra result is already there, guys, and let me just try to take a temp reading. So what do we have here? We have 32 degrees on the Exynos 2200. The score here is 2115, and the average FPS is 21.2 with a minimum FPS of 16.3 and a maximum FPS of 28.9. Oh my god, it's the first time I ever see a benchmark run on these two phones where the Samsung S22 clearly destroys the Xiaomi 13 by just finishing so early. But okay, yeah, alright, no problem. Let's take a reading on the Xiaomi 32.2. So yeah, what can I tell you? It doesn't really start so hot. Let's just see what the results are gonna be. Oh, all right, guys, the score 1401 compared to 2115, and see the average FPS 14.0 compared to 21, the lowest 110, and the maximum even is just far away from the 28.9. So I can clearly say, yeah, this is absolutely no joke, no gimmick. All right, let's guys run it one more time and see what is going to happen. So I'm gonna run it 4 more times, complete 5 times to just see if all the times I'm gonna get consistently better results. Wow, 2045, the average FPS dropped a bit, 20.4, but you can just see the Xiaomi 13 is, yeah, he's also not even done with the test, so really thrilled to see how much we're gonna get. Maximum FPS, one more time, 28, very good result. So let's just see what is gonna happen on the Xiaomi 13. 1401, guys. Yeah, I think it's pretty much obvious at this point in time that these Eclipse 920 is really doing a better job at ray tracing, but okay, let me just run it one more time. So this here is the third round. Even the loading times, guys, loading times here are better compared to what we can see from the Xiaomi 13 using the Snapdragon 8 Gen 2. It's really interesting, by the way. What I can read though is that these phones are newer phones. They use the latest version of the Vulkan API. So apparently even here, the Vulkan API used is a bit older than what it is here, but the hardware is just better in terms of really ray tracing. So the biggest news is that Samsung was not really lying about, or, you know, kind of like cheating on the fact that the Exynos 2100 was supposed to handle ray tracing better. But sadly, you know the story, right? There were not really a lot of games and it was not really utilized. And right now in Gen 2, I'm not really sure, right? What we can see here in terms of ray tracing, it's not really ideal. So I'm a bit puzzled right now. So Gen 2 is very consistent, very efficient. You know, it can take a lot of heat and it can keep a lot of battery. So it's a very nice, very powerful chip, by the way. And you can check all my tests where I was running Antutu like for 20 times. It has really perfect results. We're really not closing in on the latest Apple chips whatsoever, but apparently ray tracing is not one of its strong qualities. And with that said, just take a look, guys. Here the test almost completed, right? Here we're, yeah, almost in the beginning. Let me take one more temp reading. 36.340 S22 Ultra, 33.1, so this definitely is not utilizing the full power of the phones, and they're just working with, I would say, normal operating temperatures. All right, guys, let's just see what is going to happen. Wow, 1995, and again the maximum FPS only dropped with 0.2, so it was 28 in the previous test. Right now it's 27.8, so I would say the S22 Ultra performs quite nice in terms of stability, right? Of course, again, I'm not trying to go and run it for 20 times, but 5 times are just enough to give us a very clear indication that the Eclipse 920 is handling ray tracing better. The Exynos 2200 is able to beat the Snapdragon 8 Gen 1 purely in ray tracing, which is still something, I guess. Let me know what you think down below in the comments while we're waiting for the Xiaomi 13 to finish the third round, and then let's do 2 more. Wow, 1402. Guys, I think it's really noticeable. So the maximum FPS here almost reaching 21. So yeah, and the average one is actually what does matter. And here we have 14, here we have 20. Let's go back and let's do another fourth one of a test. $1,974, and the maximum FPS dropped a bit here, only now reaching 26.8. So remember, it was 28 even above. But yeah, the Xiaomi 13 is still doing so. Interested to see the result. And guys, I'm gonna do one more test and then do a final recap, and I really hope that you appreciate videos like this. So I wanted to just test and confirm this by myself, what I read on Android Authority, and I will have to agree. And of course, I'm using a different phone, so that's the Xiaomi 13. They use the Red Magic one, but nevertheless, it's now 100% clear. Exynos 2100 may not be so powerful as the Snapdragon 8 Gen 2, but it destroys it in terms of ray tracing, so I guess it's still something. And we have to give credit to Samsung and to AMD, so yeah, they did something, right? Sadly, almost no use case scenarios for it has been used, and maybe crippled by some of the other factors, but apparently the Eclipse 920 was not so bad to start with. Let's do some measurements, guys. 38.4, 1403 maximum FPS, still lower than the Galaxy S22 Ultra, and 38.1, guys. So let's go back, let's do one final round. Again, if you're not subscribed to my channel, guys, and you like content like this, you might as well consider subscribing. So thank you so much. And now let's see how much we're gonna get on the 5th round. And the last test shows the same result, guys. Almost 2000 on the Galaxy S22 Ultra and 1400 on the Xiaomi 13 here. The maximum FPS 20, the maximum FPS here 26, but the average one 14, here is 19. So maybe still after some tests, this will probably win at the end by a few. But overall, I think it's safe to assume that apparently Eclipse 920 was not doing a poor job at ray tracing. So imagine if we had kind of like this technology with the powerful Gen 2 chip in one, because sadly this phone is kind of crippled for games. So you know how it handles things like Genshin Impact and all of this, so you can never really achieve the high frame rate that you can get here just by the pure performance from the Gen 2, but it is what it is. So yeah, we were able to confirm. Really, thank you so much for watching, guys. Stay safe, you and your families. Subscribe. VST over and bye.